Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Gamian. I will be your game developer for this stream. With me is my co-host, well, not with me, Mega Kitty, who is currently wandering around the living room right now. Oh no, she's right behind me now. What? What? What is it, Missy? Oh, now she won't let me pick her up. What? What is it, Missy? Now, hold on, maybe I can pick up Mega Kitty. Well, anyway, so she's in the room, and she's leaving the room. But yeah, anyway, I am developing an online multiplayer soccer brawler called Field of Heroes. Been working on it for 4 years, and I have the demo out now. In fact, let me pin that for you because I continuously forget to pin that on my stream. So let me just get that out of the way real fast. I should use a automatic command to do that in the future. I'll look at that after the stream. But anyway, so I'm next steps are next month when Next Fest comes around again. I will be participating in that, and then after that will be early access. Hoping around August, and hope to be out of early access as quickly as possible after that. Maybe I'll have a little more content in the full release, but otherwise I just want to get out of early access. So this evening I'm kind of working on some more challenging problems. I was looking at some playtest videos and discovered that there's some problem with the damaging on the network side. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I got it here in my playtesting folder. This is earlier in April. Okay. So let me put this in context real quick. If this thing wouldn't keep resizing itself. Oh man, okay, there we go. So this is a clip from a playtest where the player, so you see, he hits him, he takes some damage, but he's not taking damage every time. He's taking it only some of the time. I'll show you that again in slow motion. So here he is, full health. See the red guy on the right? He's on full health. And then he gets hit with a projectile. Okay, so he loses a little bit of health there. Then he gets hit again. And no change in health. Second hit, no change in health. And then he finally gets hit again. But then he got hit again. But he missed a few. So there are a couple of reasons for this. It may be that the server just didn't catch that. And that's the number one possible reason for that happening. The server thinks the projectile is not there. The server thinks it's over here somewhere where the cursor is. So this is an issue in network games, and there is a solution for it. Basically the client will tell the server, "Hey, I should hit this guy." So it's called client hit. Maybe this isn't the right term, but I think it's client hit authority. And the idea is the client tells the server they must have hit the player, and then the server looks at the client. It kind of looks at the client's data to see if it was feasible that they hit the other player, and if it is, then they get the hit scored. But before I go much farther than that, I want to run a quick test here. I'm going to run the game. Let's see here. I'm going to run a development build on this machine here, and also on a laptop I've got in the other room. And the idea is I'm going to run it in a way that helps me figure out if this is a problem with network saturation. Maybe there's too many packets flying in the air, and that's what I'm going to figure it out right now. So let's see. I will be the server on this instance. Okay. I'm going to have this player host a quick match. Have the other player join. Alright, let's get this game started. Now while this is running, I have a network profile running at the same time. Because I'm going to double check that right now, actually. Hey, you. Keep that running. Yes, this is... Oh, no, I'm not seeing a trace here. It's supposed to be tracing. I'll play for another 20 seconds, and I'm going to see if that trace ever shows up. Okay. So we're cutting the server. Okay. And it looks like we got no traces here. Let me rerun this. So that command didn't work, I don't think. No. Alright, we're going to do this manually. So let me start the game again. Alright, let's see if that's recording. Yes, that's recording. By the way, Air Force Game Player, when you joined the stream, did any ads play for you? Ads did not play for me? Okay. Alright, now here's why, to both of you. This is why you didn't see any ads. I changed my stream last night to no longer do pre-rolls. I did some looking up into what the ads offerings of Twitch, and they said that pre-rolls is really not good for streams with small audiences because it hinders discoverability. Someone just switches casually, goes to my stream, the first thing they get is a pre-roll, and they don't want to see it, so they go somewhere else. So, so I switched them off. Now I think at the default, it was like 3 minutes per hour ads. Now, I don't have. I think I had something to test whether an ad is running or not. So I got my phone next to me watching so I know when the ads are running. But so I'm gonna keep it this way for a little while and see how discovery goes. Oh, that was cool. Okay, another minute or so, and I'm going to test the profiler. I love that character. That's how you get the ball. Oh. Oof. Could have had that one. Yeah. Okay, that was a good run. So we're going to look at the profile now. Alright, so that's done. Now let's have a look here. I hope it got net stats. And didn't get net stats, so I have no idea. So it didn't work from the batch file, and it didn't work from just running this. That's great. See, I was hoping there'd be another counter here for network. So that I could see how much network traffic there was. I haven't profiled that in a while, and I kind of want to know how it's going. Let me try this one more time. Maybe I need to auto-connect and then do this. Or, wait a minute, what if it was on disk somewhere? Oh, here we go. Alright, let me test this. Let me close it. And then, does this have net in it? Yes, it does. Okay. So that's what I had to do. Alright, let's do this one more time. Alright, I'm getting the other laptop in the game now. And now, those of you watching won't be able to join because this is an older version, and the game engine will do checks to make sure that the checksums match in the games. How that checksum test works exactly, I don't know, but it should be adequate enough where it doesn't cause problems. So again, the purpose here is to see how much network traffic we've got going on the server. Didn't want to do that. Hike. There you go. I know a few streamers who they're set up to detect when ads run, and then they actually tell their viewers not to watch the ads. What is it, Mega Kitty? I'm trying to test here. Oh, are you going in your cat tree? What are you doing, Mega Kitty? Oh, wow. That was a... Wow, the AI made a heck of a goal. I didn't even teach it to do that. I just did it. That's awesome. Okay, another few seconds, then I'll look at the profile. Oh, I love a good melee fight. Oh. Okay, that's enough testing. Shut her down. Alright, and wow, it's almost a gig of profiling. Here we go. Network insight time. Alright, we gotta give it some time to process. For those of you unfamiliar, this is the Unreal Engine that I'm developing with, and this is our network traffic of the game. This is really low. This is lower than I expected. I was thinking it would be like in the 4,000s at least. That's only because there's 2 players. That's why, though. There's only 2 players. Okay, so these are the same. can't get a zoom in on here. What's going on? Here we go. Okay. Okay, so we got character movement, RPCs. I don't think there's enough players to really assess this. The good news, though, is I do not see any packets. See, that's 212 bits. Really? Wait. Oh, the header. That's 192 bits? Let me check something real quick. Being stream with a few thousand views on Raid, everyone is putting monetize us to help small streamers, viewers. Yeah, so I'm really not streaming for money. I'm just trying to get exposure for my game. It's not even really about. It's not about me even. It's just about I want to get my game noticed. So yeah, that is what it is. All right, what was that function again? Server RPC set locus vertex. Okay, that's a vector. Oh, I didn't quantize that. Ooh, I never thought of that. Okay, so it's sending 192 bits. All right, let me do a little math here. 192 bits. What is an Unreal Engine? F vector size in bytes. Okay, F vector 192. Okay. Oh, no kidding. In Unreal 4, and a vector used 96 bits. Wow. Wow. I want to use net quantize for this. Oh, cool. I can do one decimal place. Okay, I gotta make a note of this. I stumbled on this. This isn't the cause of the problem I'm having, but this is really big information. In optimization. Hey, good evening, Graham. How you doing this evening? Graham, I just realized something. I got this server RPC function here. And it's not using a quantized vector. So I'm sending 192 bits. 192 bits pretty frequently, when I should be using a quantized, which would be I could do 60 bits or 72 bits. Or even 90 if I really want to push it. So given that, I should really. Oh, I'm gonna put this link here too. So I think for the next update, I can have a nice, tidy networking improvement. And I'm gonna go through all my RPCs. In fact, make sure that's the case. Because I do RPCs like projectiles. That's a good one. So I want to look at that too. So yeah, so this evening I'm focusing on networking because there's an issue which I want to show you. I've already shown the other viewers, but I'll show you an issue with hits not registering for clients. Yeah, they I believe in Blue. I think they are automatically in with like replication in some cases. Or hey, Hamster Hammer, welcome. Let me go to my play test and show you what I'm resolving this evening. It's a really serious bug. So this is some playtest video from last month actually. Now if I pause it, okay. So here's the issue. You see these two wizards on the top of the screen. Well, notice the one on the left. Watch his hit point bar. He's got all health, full health right now. He gets hit by this magic fireball. And then you see part of the bar turns yellow, meaning he took damage. And then I hit him a second time, but the bar doesn't move. You hit him a third time, bar doesn't move. Again, though, it connects that time. So what's going on here? My theory as to why that's happening is, at this point right here, I think the server doesn't see it this way. The server thinks this character is farther away from this projectile than really is. And I don't properly use client, what is the word for it? There's a term for when clients tell the server I should have registered a hit, and then the server determines whether it was feasible and then agrees with the client. Client hit authority or something like that, I forget the phrase. So I think that might be the cause of this issue. So I'm implementing that. Another thing I could do is increase the hitbox size, but then you have cases where it looks like you hit it, but you shouldn't have hit it. So I want to try the client thing first, and that's going to make the traffic a little more expensive, but I want to try it. So that's the issue. So I started it last night. Yeah, typical clients indeed. So let me see what I got so far. I got distracted by some other bugs I found along the way too, just minor stuff. Yeah, okay, here's where I got. So this is the function for processing a hit. This is called on every machine running the game. The reason why it runs on clients is to detect like hitting walls and stuff, and I don't want to have the server tell it to blow up in front of a wall. I think clients should be able to figure that out themselves. So, in fact, you saw in this video, it looked like it hit them, but it didn't. But I spared myself a fair bit of network traffic by kind of not doing this right at the same time. So every instance will process the hit. Now, let's go to a bunch of filters we run to see if we actually want to deal damage or not. First, these filters should make it so the projectile completely ignores the hit and just keeps going, like going through a teammate, for instance. It happens right here. So then we after passing that filter, we record a hit, and then let's see, it must be expressly hostile to do damage. Okay, so this is where we start doing our damage calculations, but we don't actually apply it yet. We get this information for doing like hit effects, VFX, playing cosmetics. So on the client, this will continue to play out what you see here in the video. This will continue to happen as before. But what will also happen is the client. So, if we're the server, which if this is true, then we just deal the damage outright. If we're the server, no questions asked. We don't verify it or anything. We just do it. Could change that later, but for now, this is the rule. But if you're not the server, then this is where we do our client hit detection. That was what it's called, client hit detection. We send an RPC to the server saying, hey, I think I hit this guy. So the client sends 3 pieces of information. He sends the projectile identifier, because the projectile is not replicated. I think that's really heavy, overweight. We don't need to do that. All we need, though, is the projectile ID, which is the same across all instances. And then we said how old the projectile is, because that might come in handy. And then the hit info of the hit. That goes to the projectile emitter. And this is, I haven't gotten here yet. So this is about where I stopped before. So this function executes on the server. When the owner reports, the projectile should hit the target. And I double-checked the feasibility of doing the client hit detection. And from what I gleaned from Google and other sources, it is a necessary evil. Even AAA's will do it because it's just for performance. The alternative is you don't do it, and clients have this problem. Or so now you can fake it with bigger hitboxes or do other things, or the server can do some math, I guess, like to determine if the client would see the collision. That's another option. Actually, I hadn't thought about that one. So the server can. So the server, well, I guess but then they have to do the rewind every single frame. That ain't gonna work. We're just gonna do this. So we got this, and this. So the first thing we do is ignore the projectile if it's not active. So this is the projectile emitter. This is owned. So this is on the weapon itself that the player owns. So they can do server RPCs they do server RPCs, and the server can do multicast. So when the player, really when anyone, fires a projectile, it generates a new projectile identifier and puts that along in the payload. There's a server RPC for firing projectiles with the ID, location, and rotation, which, by the way, I can quantize this as well. That will come later. Oh, as an aside, if I'm going to quantize it, then I also want the quantized value to be used locally. I want there to be perfect synchronization. Because you mix and match approaches, do a little bit of client-side prediction, and the client thought it would hit, and only then do the rewind on the server. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing here. So when the client thinks it hit, and it tells the server, and this is where the server is going to do the rewind, kind of. So yeah. So I'm going to start with something that's a little more imprecise than the rewind. I'm going to work my way to the rewind, and the reason is that the projectile code, the projectile path is very, very simple. It's just a straight line every time. We don't. I would rather track its path though, because I want to add support for aim assist homing. Aim assist homing is where if you're like using it's where you use the controller to play the game, and you shoot someone, but the controller stick is kind of difficult to navigate with, not as agile as a mouse. So what we have is the ability to do homing, where we can have the projectile kind of bend a little bit toward the hero as it travels just a bit. That's kind of for another day. But I kind of want to get that in before I do all the proper math here in here. So I'm going to start with the laziest implementation possible. A simple distance check, I think, and an age check probably do the trick. Hey, Swashbuckling Fox, welcome. Be sure to lurk for those sweet microscape points. In fact, how about I'll get that? I get that started here. Do that, and because she's refused to be on stream so far, I'll do a Mega Kitty. Okay, so Swashbuckling Fox, I am working on a network issue in the game. This was from a playtest. You'll see that you got the two wizards on top. First projectile hits the red wizard right there. There's the yellow bar. Second projectile does not. Third projectile does not. And I believe it's because the server believes that the projectile went past the red wizard. So to address this, I am implementing what is called, and I just had the name a second ago, client hit detection. Client hit detection is where a client believes they hit another player, and then they tell the server, they tattle on the server, saying, look, I should have gotten that hit. So then the client sends that information to the server. The server will assess whether the client was in the right, and if so, that will process the damage. So let's go ahead. We have a process hit function. Called on the local instance. When will those guys learn? Okay. Anyway, now I lost my train of thought. So let's call on local instance when a collision between this projectile and another object was detected to process the collision. Okay, I'm going to rename this to make it clearer. We're going to call it process local hit. I just realized it's used elsewhere too. Where else was it used? In a couple places, apparently. Alright, I'm going to rename them all. Nah, I don't even want this here anymore. What was this for? Okay, so we've got process local hit. It has been covered. Now we're going to do process client hit. They're going to call it authority process client because this would only be called in the authority. Now, in my projects, anything that's server it's authority only, I prefix with the word authority. That's just my habit. I found it to be super helpful to tell to know at a glance if a function is called on the server, only in the server or not. So that's just me. You be you, but that's what I do. Okay, so. Authority process client hit. Okay, called on the authoritative instance when a client reports a collision between the projectile and another object to reconcile the hit on the server. Actually, authority process client damaging hit. Okay, so we got what should be hit. Oh, and I think the other parameter window is wrong. Process local hit. Collision information. The number of seconds since the projectile was spawned. See, we got that right. No, for consistency with naming, I'm going to call it that. Someone once told me I sound like Casey Kasem like 20 years ago. Liquid Bunny, welcome. All right, so process client hit. Oh, damaging hit. That's what I wanted to call it. Naming is super important. Don't underestimate the importance of naming in the game, in source code. How about instead of fatality, which is fatality, I'll do my EA Sports thing. EA Sports. It's in the game. Alright, so now we'll do authority apply damage. This to apply damage to the hit target. Hit info. Oh yeah, this is hit info too. Collision information. Well, where's Mega Kitty? Oh, did I miss her? Okay. Man, wait a minute. I wonder if she's on the other couch. All right. Instigator. The ability system component of the actor that caused the hit. No, actually that fired the projectile. Thanks for telling me about the ads. Yep. Okay. Okay, so another 30 seconds to go. There's already 10 minutes of streaming. Okay, yep, we're back. So yeah, for those of you, I know you're disappointed in the ads, but I do have pre-roll off. I can make the ads be a little less frequent, though. There's a limit to what you can do before pre-ads will come on, regardless. So maybe I can turn it down just a hair. Okay, all right, I put it down a little bit. So should be, yeah, or you can sub, yeah. So now I'm down to 4 minutes per hour. Okay, so back to this. Now, for those of you familiar with Unreal Engine, what I like to do with authoritative functions is I protect it in a few ways. One is I have a macro. So if you do a client-only build, then the code will not be there at all. So again, if I have this code, this right here, this is what's going to look like if you decompile the client-only build. However, I'm always giving server with client builds to everyone, so this doesn't even make a difference in on Steam. But if you are having, if you're architecting your game to have client-only builds, then you can use something like this. So if the next step is authority test. Source emitter here, where is that? Here we go. Next test is a runtime test. If this projectile has no corresponding source emitter, which should never happen, or they're not the authority, then early out. So those are the protections that I use to make sure that the code that follows will be called by a server. Let me double check that I did this right. Here we go. So so the server got the message that the client requested a hit, and now we give it. Oh, we don't need this. Projectile age and hit. Okay. Now the projectile on the server side will deduce whether the hit was merited. Now the correct way now there's a bunch of ways to do this. I'm going to do the quick and dirty way this evening, and that is I'm just going to do a simple distance test and an age test. The proper way that a good game will determine whether the client did hit the other one is maybe doing a rewind where you say at this point in time, see if the projectile probably should have hit the other player. Something that's a little more precise. But in our case, we're just going to do kind of the more lazy way. Before I implement that, I want to make sure this compiles first. Oh, protected member. Ooh, I gotta fix that. That needs to be public. Okay, that should do it. Oh, it has to return a value. No, it doesn't. Well, because the caller doesn't care, and the caller can't do anything with the return value anyway. So we're not gonna do Boolean. Okay, good. Let's see. So, oh wait, this should be in projectile age. There's a reason for that. It seems like projectile age is like a variable that you can probably have in a lot of places locally. I don't want to conflict it. I think, what was the member variable on age? Oh no, there wasn't one. It's calculate age. Get age, that's it. Okay, so if the ages are off, I wonder if I can get the ping. I forgot if I have a function for that. mean, I could factor in the ping and the age. Or I could just do... Oh. Current age... So within, say, 1 second. No, see, that's that's a pretty big ping. Greater than. Okay, I think that'll do it. For the moment, I'm going to just get the distance to impact, and then I'll use the square of it later. But I just want to get the distance from this location to the target. Again, this is the lazy way of doing it. This is just, we're not doing any rewinding. We're just doing this. Again, it's lazy. This won't be the final version. I just want to see if it makes a difference. Info impact point. That's a pretty generous distance, I'd say. Maybe let's do 300. Okay, so those are our tests. And then these pass. Let's see. I probably want to do additional filters, like just to make sure they're enemies and all that, I think. Alright, got some bookmarks I want to clean up here too. Okay. Then suppose these filters, then what? Let's go back to process local hit. Keeping in mind the server can be a player, and will often will be, we may just want to jump to process local hit. Now, another issue with the way I'm doing it now is that if I do process if I do call process local hit, then the server might have the hit appear on their instance in a pretty weird location. But I want to see how this looks before I do any more polish on it. So I'm waiting for this to build. Let me entertain you with the recent Mega Kitty occurrence. Okay, what is it not like about that function? Current age, it's float. That's a float. That's a float. Oh, this is supposed to be a minus. Oh, come on, Unreal. Let's move it along. You're making me look bad in front of the viewers, Unreal. Okay. So now I'm going to test this. Look networked with emulated, yeah, network emulation, which is pretty slow, and it's going to be pretty choppy and pretty messy. So we'll see how this goes, and this is going to be a good exercise for this function. Nope. Wonderful. I actually accidentally closed the editor. It's really my hope that one of the outcomes of this game is that streamers play it and their viewers love it. Okay, now we're going to test this. Alright, loading all the shaders, doing all that. Oh, it's profiling. I don't want that. I gotta turn the automatic profiling off. There. Oh, that needs to go. This needs to go. This needs to go. Okay, so now if the server okay, here, all right, here we go. So this is a case where the server didn't register a hit, but I think I did. So now we're in the authority function that we want to be in. So now here we go. We're going to first test the age test. So I reported the projectile age as 0.19, almost 0.2 seconds. The server believes the age is oh, about the same. Yeah, really close. So yeah, this should be pretty spot on. Okay, now let's look at the distance to impact. 194. Okay. That's within tolerance. So let's proceed with the hit. Oh, okay. In this case, the projectile was already destroyed. So the server is like, nope, I don't care what the client says. I've already ruled that it's destroyed. So we're going to have to test for that. Another thing, and this is really for all you engineers watching, avoid putting functions within functions like this. Instead, just just calculate them line by on one line at a time. So projectile loc is this, and that way it's easier to debug. So with that H tolerance, I'm going to get down to maybe 0.5 seconds. In fact, let's make another setting for this. And this should be below all this. Client hit detection, age, tolerance. Make sure I get this right. Units. And the other one is going to be, so now we can just put this value here. $300. There, so that makes these configurable fields. Okay, here we go. So it's really choppy right now, not just because of the networking, but because it's loading animations, it's loading textures, it's loading stuff, and it's making the game go crazy. You can't see in the lower right, but there's a lot of, yeah, top left, there's preloading and loading and stuff. Now, so far, I'm not getting any hits on this. Let me put a break. Let's move a breakpoint up a bit. There you go. Loading animation sequences. This is killing me right now. And probably best tested from far away. Like, man, get an enemy that's far away. Yeah, I'm getting some reliable hits on him, but it's not doing the client thing. Oh, there we go. We got one. All right. Age. Oh, I should have made this it's a local variable too. Okay, so almost a perfect match. I should do that. This to impact 70. All right, we're going to process this hit. Let's see what happens now. Good. We do our tests and then. Good. They're hostile, so we're going to register the hit. Okay. Now again, this is very lazy, but it's working. And we apply the damage, apply hit effects, and we're done. Okay, so again, this is pretty lazy. Yeah, looks like I hit him that time. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's do a little cleanup here. And I believe this should be... This is the proper notation. That's better. And I don't need to put this in its own line because it's pretty obvious that absolute value, what that's going to look like. Distance test looks good. Okay. Happy with this again. So far, so again, simple aged, active, and distance test. What about having the server tell everyone that the projectile was destroyed? I should probably do that too. Let me commit this first, though. Wait, let me look at something else here. Okay. Oh, no, we're good. I'm thinking here. I think I'll have it. I think I'll have the server tell everyone to destroy the projectile if the client compelled it to. The thing is, I don't know. Now, most games will have the server tell clients when the projectile was destroyed, but that's a lot of traffic. Well, maybe it's not. There's not that many projectiles active at a time. Yeah, let me commit this and then I'll think on the other one. I certainly did not change any of these. Okay. Process local hit. Okay. Does not use rewind. Or does not adjust hit location for server. Or for ping. Okay, so again, that's just, and I'm kind of just going iterating as I go. So let's commit that. Let's put it in the main branch as well. Okay, now we're going to make the server destroy the projectile. So it's pretty simple pretty simple implementation here. So from the projectile, we do. Actually, you know what? Let's call it from. We don't need it from the timer. I want it from the from taking an actual hit. Where's that? Yeah, here we go. Only in response to a local hit, to a local hit, or a client hit detection approved hit, should we tell all clients to destroy the projectile. Hey Dave, how's it going? Let's doing some networking today. Let's see, and then we do. Yes, fixing a couple network bugs. There's a lack of client hit detection, which is causing sometimes causes heroes to not take damage when they should, like right here. Hit point bar didn't even move here. And I discovered that I'm not properly using Unreal quantization. Oh, hold on, we got a notification in Microscape here. What's what we got? I'm defense level 50 now, hooray. Okay, so now we want to... Now I'm making it so that when the server registers a hit, they have all the instances destroy their instance of the projectile. Okay. Now I want to be careful on this one because... oh, I should... Do we play hit effects or not? Yeah. I think for now we'll always play the hit effects. Yeah, I'm thinking about how I'm going to do this real quick. Could pass in hit info. Yeah. But that's a lot to send in a payload. What do I really need from this? Just whether I should play hit effects. Oh, but to do that, I'd still need the hit info. Yeah, this is going to add more network traffic, though. Gameplay cues. I don't know, I guess projectiles don't really hit all that much. I think I'll do it and just have to keep an eye on the network traffic. Actually, no, I don't like this name. Let's do multicast process hit. Now I'll just do this. So now we'll have this function. Now I just had a thought though. If I use that hit info, then the projectile will detonate on clients where the server says it is, and that's not going to look good. I may have to almost make my own hit result. Now I'm gonna let's do it without the hit result. We'll make clients deal with it. Doing AI controller stuff? Huh, sounds like fun. I may actually get to... Speaking of controller, I might do a little controller work after this. Again, projectile destroy... for client. Let's see, is destroying? Thanks for the lurk. Alright, so we're destroying. All collisions, okay, so that all looks good. We want to do all this stuff. Gotcha. Okay, we're back. How about now? Is it still 2 songs? Okay. Well, I have the most sensitive microphone there is then, I guess. Because I can barely even hear the other song. Okay, so play effects, play hit cosmetics. So we need hit results. I wonder if I can make a hit result from... Probably not. Oh, vector start, vector end. What's that? Oh, tracing. Okay. Still thinking about how I want to do this. I could take this. No, I don't want to take the server's hit info. We're just going to do... Although I could pass in the actor that was hit. That could work. No. Info. Impact point is actor location. Impact normal. See something. Oh, okay. So no applying hit effects. Just do play hit cosmetics instead. Okay. Let's see if that. Let's see how that looks. Called on a client. All right, and let's kick off another test. That was quick. Oh, right. It's happening every time. No, this needs to be somewhere else. There we go. Yeah, let's test that. Alright, as usual, loading the animation, so it's being very slow. Yeah, alright, we got it. Let me double check. This looks good. Okay, good. So the authority's doing that. We already destroyed it because we're the one who shot it. Oh, I thought we... Oh. I guess it's still destroying? Let's see. Yeah, because we were destroying it first. Okay. So that actually looks good. But there's no substitute. I'm going to need another playtest for this with a bunch of people to make sure this looks good. I also want to test something too. I want to test that this looks okay. So I'm going to do a kind of a hack here. So local hit, I'm going to do, gonna hide this. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep that. This is where we're gonna comment. We're gonna do this instead. I want to see what that looks like. And we're gonna do that in like a test gym, so we won't have to wait for the whole round to load and everything. Wrong hero. Well, it doesn't look great, but it gets the job done. Okay. Supply hit effects. So let's roll back all these changes. You know what? Let's move this. Here. There. You know, I don't even have to play these, and I could just make it disappear if I wanted to. But I think in response to a hit, I think it should play. Just use the current projectile location as the hit. Okay, I think that'll work. Let's review my code before I do anything more. Okay, one other change I want to make. What's it? Oh yeah. There. I want to make sure we early out for the server. If we're valid and the authority. And we don't need this either. Okay. I think that'll be what we're commit. So altogether, we now have a basic client hit detection implementation. It's not the best, but it's certainly better than what we had before the changes began. So we'll say added support for the server telling all clients to destroy a projectile. Okay. And knock this out real quick. Two things actually. Starting with the locus. Alright, so the default vector is 192 bits. We're going to bring this down to, let's see, one decimal place. I'm not sure we really need that. I'm just going to do net quantize. Okay, we'll try that. And replica's vertex, we'll make that quantize as well. And that should give us a cut. That will cut us down from 192 bits to 60 bits. And that's going to translate to serious savings when we got a bunch of players in. But only if it looks good. So we're going to do this in the gym again. I'm going to simulate 2 players and we're going to see how it looks. I'm going to make a change where I'm going to have 2 clients this time, but I'm not going to use emulation as before. I'm going to see it without emulation first. And ads. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to turn emulation on. See how it looks. All right. Looks about the same, which is what I wanted. what's this? Okay, cool. Seeing a little weirdness with the networking here. Let me. Oh, let me see that again. Oh, okay. Yeah, welcome on your PC. Okay. All right. I think we're fine. All right. So now I want to extend the quantizing to the projectile now. Yeah. So there's two kinds of ways you can set gyms up. You can have gyms that are very specialized for something you want to test a lot. The other kind is making like a gigantic overall gym, and you've seen them in asset packages where you can play with VFX and you can play with locomotion. They have those big gyms, and I know I've seen them on your stream. So you can make either or. Just do what has function for you. Now I'm going to have the projectile code use quantized values for these RPCs to make it more efficient. Okay, so now let's go to the emitter component. Press hit. No. Here we go. See something on our fire projectile. Good. Okay, local fire. Okay, that we don't want to quantize. There we go. We just want to do the RPCs. On the other hand, no, let's do that. Let's assign. Yeah, we're going to do this even with the from these functions too. Yeah, let's make them all quantize. So that'll save us a fair bit of network traffic, I think. Now, what's all this? Oh, here we go. And there's something else that caught my attention earlier. Okay, no, never mind. Let's make sure projectiles still work. And I'm going to do this. We're going to turn off the network emulation again. Because I first want to make sure that it works with non-emulation networking. And let's get Ellis in here. Okay, so I'm controlling him from off screen. You can't see it, but I'm controlling him off screen. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, this is looking good. And if I turn on emulation, let's see how it looks. Still looks good. All right, I like how this is shaping up. And of course, let's make sure it still works single player. Good. All right, let's check Dodger. Okay, so let's see what we got. All right, Locus now uses net quantize values. Yeah, that's really going to save on traffic big time. Projectiles now use it. Replaced references to effector with dir net quantize in RPCs and in the locus component. That should get a bias law of opening up a lot of traffic here. So let's save that. And then let's move on to the... Let's see, well, I'm going to close this before we switch workspaces. Okay, that's done. Let's see, what next? I did kind of want to work on the gamepad a little bit, but there is actually one other issue. This network issue, I think I'll stay on topic. This network issue also happens with melee attacks. So let me, so you see, he's swinging away, but he just won't die. Yeah, he should have taken him out with this hit, but he missed. Yeah, that should... Wait a minute. Yeah, that did hit him locally, but it didn't register as damage. So, what we did for the projectiles, we also have to do for melee swings. Oh boy. Alright, so... I'm tempted to just hang it up, but I want to work on this a little bit more first. Oh, and in fact, before I get into that train of thought, I want to give a shout out or two. Starting with Swashbuckling Fox, who is also an Unreal developer. Okay, and go ahead and sit tight. I will be right back. I want to see if Mega Kitty's on the other couch, and if so, I want to move the camera to aim at her. So be right back. And that's a negative. She is not there. Okay, melee component. I think this was it. Process. Yeah, this is it. Oh, yeah. Why did I put these things behind a C-var? That's silly. I'm gonna get rid of fix that first. Still need to look at how to set up a gym, but we'll do that after I learn some more about stuff I'm working on. Yeah, you know, that's one of my philosophies that, well, that's one philosophy I have is whenever I am assigned a problem, one of the very first questions I ask is, what is my repro for the problem? How do I duplicate the issue? And oftentimes that leads to what gym do I need to create to duplicate this issue? So, you know, that setting up your debug environment is one of the first things you may want to think about. You will save yourself a lot of pain if you do it now rather than wait till later when you've become frustrated. So just depending on your problem, if you're looking at a very targeted problem, maybe make a small gym. Maybe if it's a niche or a edge case, make a small gym for it. But if you are starting the path of 1,000 steps, and you're building something big, then build your big gym for it, and use it. I've seen some really cool gyms too. I wonder if I could see Unreal Engine gym levels. Yeah, as I figured, there's actual literal gyms here, but maybe it's just test levels. So this would be like a super small gym. Oh, and in fact, my project. Let me get that up. I'll show you other gyms I have too. Yeah, here's a bunch of them here. There's a gym maybe for make a gym for mantling and what do you call that? What's that word? When you're vaulting and jumping everywhere, jumping on rooftops and I forget that word. But yeah, parkour and mantling and all that stuff. This would be that kind of gym. What's in better? Let's see. That's another example. Yeah, there's another one. Another gym for doing the same stuff. I think I still have the old gym from Advanced Locomotion Systems. Yeah, this is a good gym. This will, if you're making locomotion stuff, well, man, a little bright, but yeah, look at this stuff. You got kind of obstacles, got some rocks to climb, boxes. Yeah, stairs. There you go. Now, here's what I really like is when people make levels with metrics and measures. I've worked in AAA. I've worked in projects where people dedicated a lot of time to making gyms, and like they were beautiful gyms. They were perfect grid floors that had like markings every 100 meters and stuff like that. I mean, they were so beautiful. You just want to play the game in them. But those are the kind of gyms. So let me show you other gyms I got. So I got skirmish gyms. This is me playing against every individual hero. Like that. It's just, there's some test dummies here. And then I enter the arena, and the bot is there with me. Yeah, and this is all the gym is. There, he just won the game. But it's very simple. This is on the smaller side too. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do now because he's a goalkeeper, and I think he's a bit out of his league here. What's he doing? Wait, what version of the controller is he using? This is an old gym. He's probably still on the old controller. Oh, Skirmish Hero controller? Alright, what version of the behavior tree is he on? Oh, that's our thing. You see, I actually have an AI controller just for these gyms. Okay, set home zones. Oh, he's on the latest version. So why is he tripping up like that? Yeah, that was weird. Maybe because I'm on his team and he doesn't know what to do. Yeah, it must be on his team. The turn is kind of sharp, though. I've never seen the AI do that in a game, though. Anyway, so I got those gyms, and I have locomotion gyms. Haven't used this one in forever. So we got the bridge here. Oh, wait, do I have... What does this one look like? Oh, yeah, I just had this guy running up and down. Yeah, I was using this for target practice, actually. Then we have, let's see, moving targets. Oh, this is so old, I don't even remember this one at all. Don't remember this one either. I should probably just delete those because I don't even know what to do with them. Okay, here we go. So now I also have these AI gyms, like defending, goal scoring. This gym is specifically for this bot to score goals with. Well, but the bottom line is I got a lot of gyms. So, like, I got all these gyms here I tested at one time or another. Yeah, these gyms, these more... Danger Room is like the all-purpose for testing status effects. Except this one has all the heroes in it for some reason. I don't even think I need that anymore. So now it's got to load all the heroes. And then, yeah, with all status effects. And then for a while, this used to be an actual test match gym. I don't even know if this works anymore. Which, by the way, that's going to be a pretty normal thing. If you make a lot of gyms, you create the potential to have to maintain a lot of gyms. And really, what I found over time is that a lot of gyms get old and dusty and forgotten, and they actually start causing problems because they refer to old assets and they have old behaviors and they're broken and all that. So, let's see. Oh wow, yeah, this is so old. I still has all the zones in it and stuff. I wonder if this actually plays. Yeah, I didn't think so. It just blew up. So that gym is broke. Anyway, so if you do have a lot of gyms, you may want to consider clean up once in a while. Clean them all up. Another thing, I'm going to show you for those of you who don't know, you also have a developer folder that is not part of the package content. At least it shouldn't be. I'll show you that. Okay, so I'm back to the danger room, the empty danger room. So in every Unreal project, you have your own developer folder. Maybe I'm just hiding it. Yeah, developers content. So content, developers. So here we have like folders for people who have been on your team at some point or another. In this case, my old artist that I contracted, they probably don't need these anymore. But yeah, so this folder, you can put your own personal gyms in and your own personal content in, but do not make dependencies between your mainstream content and your developer folder, or you're going to have breakage when you make builds or other problems. But you do have a developers folder, so there's that. But yeah, it's a handy place if you're like working with a big team and you just want your own little, sandbox. You can totally do that in your developers folder. Whether that's supported in source control, you have to talk to your team about that. Because I think usually those are in source control as well. But what maintainers don't like is if you have in your developer folder like 10 gigabytes of maps and nonsense and all that. I don't think they like that very much. So keep that in mind. Okay. How am I doing on ads? Oh, okay. Yeah, my Twitch dashboard is the weirdest timer. Like, I can't tell when an ad's going to start. And it has this countdown that resets to after 60 minutes. It makes no sense to me. So, anyway. Yeah, I think I'm probably just going to hang it up. Oh, wow, it's been 2 hours and more and change. It's so, yeah, I'm starting to get tired. I got to still do the melee stuff, maybe tomorrow. I put in a full 8-hour days, and it was pretty hectic. I was unblocking someone there was a problem in the code, and I figured it out and fixed it, but they were blocked. And when someone's blocked, there's an added pressure on you to get it fixed ASAP and do it right without breaking anything. So that was a fun day. So I'm going to rate us off to Plobby3D, who does art. Oh, let me make sure they're not running ads first. I have a bad habit of rating off to people, and then you get ad walled, and then they're leaving. Even worse. Oh no, he's fine. Alright, so I'm going to refer yourself to Plobby3D. And thanks everyone for coming in and stopping by and hanging out. And the work will continue. I will not be streaming next week. I will be on vacation next week. Sort of a late spring break. So I may stream again this week, but not next week. So if I do stream again this week, I'll let you know. And I hope to see you then. If not, I will catch you 2 weeks from today around 7 p.m. Central Time. So until then, have a good one.